was called, the bullpen session with Ronnie Lane or whatever it is. But that will be tomorrow at 3 o'clock. And then the official Rays pregame show with our guy Chris Adams-Wall, 3:30. And then it sets up. Rays, Cardinals, first pitch just after 4 o'clock tomorrow afternoon. Drew Rasmussen on the mound for the Rays. Andy Fried and Neil Solondz will have the call.
Get me out of here.
Come on, we haven't played a game yet, Andy. Come on. So you heard Kevin Cash mention in that soundbite, we need some young players to progress. We need to stay healthy. Boy, they're going to need a lot more than that. The Rays are in trouble already. I know they haven't played a game, and look, stranger things have happened, and I think there's potential for the Rays to surprise some people, but the only way that happens is if you're fully healthy. If all hands are on deck, yes. If the younger players progress faster than initially thought, yes. If Shane McClanahan comes back and looks like the all-star McClanahan, who is one of the best pitchers in baseball from 2021 through 2023, yes. But I don't know if you can make any of those statements right now. The Rays unveiling their 26-man roster today. Yeah, Kevin Cash. So a few guys, impact players, will be on the injured list to start. On the 10-day injured list is second baseman Gavin Lux, acquired in a trade, your everyday second baseman, in a contract year too. He's making more than $5 million. And if Gavin Lux puts forth a good year, he should be motivated. He has every incentive to go out there and knock it out of the park, literally and figuratively, so he can get paid after the season. But unfortunately, he's got right shoulder impingement. I got some impingement myself just by reading this. But Gavin Lux was not healthy at all throughout the spring. He had that upper body soreness or whatever that was, and I'm guessing the right shoulder impingement was the basis for those early maladies. So he's on the 10-day IL. Hopefully he can come back in the 10 days. I don't know if that's going to be the case. Taylor Walls is also on the injured list, the 10-day injured list. And we know he ain't coming back in 10 days, folks. He has a right oblique strain, usually with a pitcher, that's 6 to 8 weeks, minimum. And from what I'm being told, it's at least a month, probably closer to 6 weeks before you see Taylor Walls. So I'm guessing first week of May at the earliest, which sucks for him. Now, it does open the door for Carson Williams. He has made the opening day roster. He is one of their best prospects. It's time. Show us what you got, kid. We know you have immense upside. The athleticism, he's a plus defender. He can hit for some power. He does strike out a lot. If you can cut down on the strikeouts, you're talking about a very good player, potentially. A very good player. It's up to him now. I would give him the baton and say, go run with the kid. The Rays have no choice. You got Ben Williamson. I think he's more of a kind of a utility guy with Gavin Lux and Taylor Walls out. Ben Williamson's going to play a lot. He was pretty impressive during the spring. Jonathan Aranda will play a lot of second base, maybe with Yandy at first base, and then, the DH spot is going to be opened up a little bit. So the Rays do have some options, but it's not as many as they would like to have. So Lux and Walls, your starting double play combination on the 10-day injured list. And then on the 15-day injured list, our guy Ryan Pepio, who received his injection today into his ailing right hip to calm down some inflammation that's in there. And he's pretty confident that this is going to be a minimal stay for him. So he's on the 15-day IL. It's retroactive to where he could come off on April the 6th. So he's definitely missing the first road trip of the season. And there's a chance maybe latter half of that series against the Cubs at the Trop or that weekend series against the Yankees, first homestand of the regular season. By the way, ticket sales are quite brisk. I think a lot of it has to do with the fact that the Cubs are here. A lot of Cubs fans are here. Yankees are here. A lot of Yankee fans obviously living among us. And, of course, the novelty of the Trop being reopened after last year, obviously, the whole hurricane situation there. And a lot of people, including myself, are very excited to see what the new look Trop will look like. Brian Pepio out on the 15-day injured list. Edwin Uceta also on the 15-day injured list. He also has the dreaded right shoulder impingement. So why is it where almost every injury with the Rays is either an oblique strain or a right shoulder impingement? What the hell's going on here? And I know what a lot of people are going to say, but you got to fire the man. Everyone wants somebody fired. Fire the medical staff. Fire Kevin Cash. It's his fault. It's the doctor's fault.
Even though you everything we do.
Not yet. The season hasn't begun. Wait until we start playing some games, and then we'll find out what that looks like. And, of course, Manny Rodriguez is on the 60-day injured list, along with Steven Wilson, whom the Rays acquired in the offseason. Steven Wilson has a lumbar disc inflammation. Oof. That's in your lumbar, like lower back area. My lower back is a little sore, too, but nothing like that, though. At least I was able to go out running this morning. It was beautiful, by the way. Beautiful weather, nice breeze before the hot weather rolls in. Cam Boozer, by the way, who had a really good spring training for the Rays, he was added to the 40-man roster. The Rays sent him to Durham. So here is the 26-man roster. 13 pitchers, 13 position players. You've got 4 left-handers. Garrett Clevenger, Steven Matz, Shane McClanahan, Ian Seymour. Seymour and Clevenger obviously out of the bullpen. Matz and McClanahan in your starting rotation. And you have 9 right-handers. Brian Baker in the bullpen. Joe Boyle will start the second game of the season at St. Louis on Saturday. Great arm, but his command is all over the place. Mason Englert, he made the team as a reliever. Yoandres Gomez, whom the Rays acquired in the offseason, out of options. He made the team. He's in the bullpen. Griffin Jax was fantastic. If you watched him at the World Baseball Classic, the Rays gave up Taj Bradley to get this guy, and we talked to him over at FanFest. I mean, his arsenal is lethal, folks. That sweeper of his is unbelievable. It is. It's like playing wiffle ball. When you play wiffle ball with your friends and you're able to manipulate the wiffle ball, I mean, Griffin Jax could be primed for a big year. So I have high hopes for that guy. Kevin Kelly's in the bullpen. Yeah, up and down there. Nick Martinez, who couldn't get me or Chris Mathis out during spring training, and now he's got this hamstring issue. He is toward the latter half of the starting rotation. I'm hoping we see better results now that the regular season is here. Drew Rasmussen, obviously, opening day start, and Cole Sulser out of the bullpen. So those are your pitchers, all 13 of them. 2 catchers, Hunter Fiducia, Nick Fortes. We knew that was going to be the case. 5 infielders, Aranda, Junior, Yandy, Carson Williams, Ben Williamson. 6 outfielders, Johnny DeLuca, Jake Fraley, Cedric Mullins, Richie Palacios, Chandler Simpson, and Ryan Valade. So there you have it, your Rays opening day roster. 13 position players, 13 pitchers. And with the injuries that they're dealing with already, you knew it was going to be an uphill climb, even with everybody healthy. Starting second baseman is out. Starting shortstop is out. 2 of your better relievers are out. And 1 of your horses in the starting rotation are out. look, I don't want to already, sink this team before they even played a game, but you've got to admit they are definitely behind the eight ball going into the season. They have to get off to a great start. The Cardinals are not a very good team. Over-under win projection, 69.5. That's worse than the Rays. Worse than the Rays. So the Rays have to find a way to win series, win 2 out of 3 this weekend if you can. Then you go to Milwaukee. That's going to be a little tougher. Then you go to Minnesota. The greatest opponent there is probably going to be the weather as opposed to the opponent. So if the Rays come out of this road trip, I would take 5-4 would be incredible. I don't know if that will happen. I think 4-5 is probably more realistic. If you're 4-5 to come back home to reopen the Trop, if you're telling me 4-5, I would take that right now, believe it or not. I would take 4-5 because of everything, the injuries and everything else and what they're dealing with. Offensively, outside of Junior Caminero, I don't know who's going to hit the ball out of the ballpark. And I know a lot of people are going to be infatuated with some of the numbers from a year ago. Just remember, a year ago, they were playing at Steinbrenner Field, where Yandy Diaz was a 20-home run guy, and some of those home runs came to right field where the ball just jumps out of the park. Do I think Yandy will hit 20 home runs this season? I do not. I think he's more going to be in that 13, 14, maybe 15 range. There is no Brandon Lau. He's gone with his 31 home runs. I think the power department is going to be an issue. Outside of Junior Caminero, who's going to provide it? That's a great question. I don't think the Rays have an answer either. 888-388-0957. Text at 82945. Your thoughts on the Rays? Now, I don't think it's a 100-loss season like some people are intimating. No, I don't think so. I think a lot went wrong last year in terms of injuries, having to play in a makeshift minor league ballpark, and they won 77 games. I think if these guys come together and McClanahan stays healthy, there's potential for 78 to 80. I think I'm going to be in that range. What's their ceiling? Their ceiling is 86. What's their floor? I think they could lose 90 games. I think that's how I would evaluate the Rays right now. I think they're in the 78 to 80 range. I think their basement, their floor, is 72 and 90. I think they could lose 90 games. I think that's the worst case scenario, in my opinion. I know they're in the AL East, but I think they'll be able to pitch well enough to hang around in these games. The offense could be an issue. I think the best case scenario is you win 86 games and you're probably in as a third wild card, but that is like the best case scenario. Forget about winning this division. I think that's a pipe dream. Just being real. Your thoughts on that? Your calls, your texts?
Oh, I don't know.
I don't know either, Eric Neander. You might be in for an uphill climb. But that's why they play the games, folks. There's always a team that comes out of nowhere. Maybe that team is the Rays, but you got to get healthy first. All right, when we come back, speaking of health, the Lightning appear to be firing on all cylinders. What a game that was last night. That's the good news. The bad news is one of their marquee players has some mystery surrounding him. We'll talk about that, too, coming up next.
You're tuned in to The Drive with TKras.
All right, it is The Drive presented by our guys over at Moss Nissan. Their goal is to never lose your business over price. TKras and Chris Mathis here. A reminder, we're going to be live at Moss Nissan in Newport Richie for a Friday show, so we're looking forward to seeing you guys there. And all this month, Moss Mania. Show off your basketball skills in our showroom, and you can win up to $3,000 in cash.
That you can while checking out the cheapest and best deals on Nissans across the bay at Moss Nissan. Here's the deal. Simply walk in, find the best deal from another dealership. Moss Nissan will beat that, and if they can't, they're going to pay you $500 in cash right there on the spot. Also offering 0% financing on select Nissan models at Moss Nissan as well.
Unbeatable deals there. And when you purchase that vehicle, guess what? You'll get the industry-exclusive Moss Care, lifetime oil changes and tire rotations, and so much more. They've got the largest Nissan inventory in the Tampa Bay area. Check them out. 3 Tampa Bay area locations: North Tampa, Newport Richey, and Brooksville, or online at mossnissan.com. Moss Nissan, whatever it takes.